are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our final edition of our 4-part series of the free training to be seen and heard. So we are live, everybody, and it is the final night. So thank you, everybody who has joined live, has joined replay, who has been working on being able to tune in when they can. Hi, Donna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So exciting, and we finished the week off. I know we've still got Friday, but we're finishing majority of the week off together, which is super exciting. So welcome everybody to day 4, and thank you everybody who has joined in over the past 4 days. And if anybody is just tuning on and they haven't done Monday to Wednesday, then feel free. They're only half an hour. Tune in between now and Sunday, because then after Sunday on Monday I will be taking them down. So if you have missed any of the evenings, then make sure that you do put some time aside to watch the replays. That will be 2 hours of your time. And you could be doing other things at the same time, but make sure you do tune in. Hi, Laura. So yes, they will only be available on replay for a limited time. So make sure that if you have missed any of the episodes, then that you do tune in the group. They will be kept in the announcements at the top, and you'll be able to go through them as you go along. So thank you everybody again for taking time as well out of your really super busy lives. And it's really something that I absolutely love to do. So I always look at it that, yes, I'm helping everybody on here by doing these trainings, by doing these lives, and really helping and giving away some skills and strategies. But you guys are also fulfilling my passion and my vision and my dream by being able to be present and share this all with you. So I always say that it's so important to be student and teacher, and also to have that fulfillment of things that you share. And the reason why I want to share that with you is that I know for a lot of people, when they're maybe first starting out, or they have already started and they're now putting together maybe structure around their stories or their talks, or more about who they are and what they do, and then maybe overcoming any nerves and fear and those types of things. And I definitely have been there. And now it's just having that passion and really having that vision to fulfill that and continue that work. So I really want you to think about that as well, of wherever you are right now in that moment of maybe overcoming some of those things, or you're now in that process of going, right, I don't necessarily have the fear, but I don't have the structure or the clarity around what I'm saying. Is just remembering is that the more that you can share, and the more practice you have, and the more fulfillment that you can have out of doing these things, then that's all going to help as well. So we have looked at, over the past few nights, that on Monday we looked at putting together your unique skills and experience and your passions. And then on Tuesday, we started to look at your needs, wants, and desires of yourself, but also of the people that you're speaking to. And then last night, we started to then piece together around what action steps that you took, and what potentially are some action steps for the people that you want to connect with and help, and what they would need to do. So for this evening, is what I would really like to do is just really talk around that engagement and that delivery of sharing your message, sharing your stories, because even though that we've been going through the story circle, there is 8 elements, and we haven't been able to cover all of those. We've covered a few, but I want to be able to, on the final one, really share how you're going to get that engagement, how you're going to deliver as yourself as well. So I think that's really something that's really important that I want to be able to help you to do. So some key things that we are going to work on this evening is that I'm going to teach you a technique. So especially for people that might feel sometimes just a little bit maybe nervous, or a little bit of anxiety, or just anything that you might just feel when you go to have these conversations, or maybe a bit imposter, or just maybe a bit, oh, who's going to listen to me and why will they listen to me? then I want to share with you a technique that you can do to be able to help reduce those types of things as well. So if anybody has noticed over the last few days, my very beautiful drawing of the stick person with the heart, then this is something that I want to be able to teach you all with. It's something that I'm super passionate about, and it's something that I work with my clients on, that I work with around mindset, but I also work around things that you can do in real time of skills, and I certified in sharing these techniques with you to be able to reduce stress, anxiety, and be able to self-regulate in real time. And because I've been searching for a long time of wanting to help people that could do it right now. Like I can be doing this technique right now and you wouldn't even know that I was doing it. So I wanted to share that with people because I think it's so important that when we are maybe in conversation with someone one-on-one or on camera, or we could be in front of people, we can't necessarily go away and maybe go to the toilet and do certain things, or go beforehand and do certain things to get yourself in the right mindset. Sometimes we need to be able to do things in the moment and do it with our eyes open. So this is something that you would be able to do with your eyes open. So let me know in the comments if you are excited to learn this evening. So that's what we're going to do. Then I'm going to teach you how to begin to structure out what your message in a structure where your message would go, and then I'm going to talk about things around getting your audience and getting the other person engaged. So that's what we're going to cover this evening. So yeah, let me know who's excited to learn these techniques this evening. Donna's like, yay! Excellent. I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I'm covering everything that I want to. Oh, and then I will have one final question that I want you to share with me as well. So what I'll do is, and I know for some of you might be busy doing other things right now, but that's okay. But if you are able to just get as comfortable as you can where you are, and just having a seat if you can. If you don't, it's fine. Come back to this video as well later. But if you can, just get as comfortable as you can and put both feet on the ground as well, so that you don't have legs crossed. So put both feet on the ground, and if you can, close your eyes. If not, keep them open. Absolutely fine, depending on what you're doing, to make sure that everything is all safe and different things like that. So I'm just going to get my little thing out. And I want you just to start to begin to relax where you are. And then I would like to ask you to start to focus your attention in your heart area. And imagine that your breath is flowing in and out of your heart or chest area. Breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. And finding an easy rhythm that's comfortable for you. And as you continued heart-focused breathing, make a sincere attempt to experience a regenerative feeling, such as appreciation or care for someone or something in your life, or even just a focus of feeling of calm and ease. And if you feel your mind wandering, then just come back to focus your attention in your area of your heart and your chest. And then when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes, or just come back to this live. Let me know in the comments that how you felt doing that, if you were able to do that, and let me know that you, if you were able to feel that feeling of love or care and compassion, if you were able to feel that in your heart or chest area. Can pop a heart emoji in the comments. If anybody's watching this later on replay, even you can just put a heart shape, a heart emoji in the comments as well. Laura felt it was very peaceful. So this is a technique that you literally can do for 30 seconds. And it's just a way of coming in and focusing on your heart. It's something that I absolutely love to share with people because it's really around, especially if we get stressed or anxious or we're super busy and then we're adding things more and more to our day. Donna, very relaxed and very warm sensation going through my chest. Beautiful. So that's what you want to focus on when you're doing that breathing. So if you can feel yourself maybe getting a bit anxious or a bit stressful, or it's just been a really busy day and then suddenly you're faced with conversations with people, or you're now going to share your story or message, then we want to bring that down. And the reason that I want to say that as well, because I know for some of you had mentioned around going blank or losing your words. And when we are in moments where we're not in connecting with our heart, is that if we're feeling stressed, so let me know as well if in the past that you've been doing something around speaking and your heart is maybe racing quite quickly. And if that is the case, what happens is when our hearts are beating incoherently, is that it starts to release a lot of cortisol and adrenals throughout our body. And then what happens is that it sends a message to our brains and it starts to shut down our cognitive and our memory and the way in which we communicate. So that's why I wanted to teach you that technique, because if we can really settle our hearts and become coherent, then it's going to send a different message to our brain, which is going to keep us going when we're in those moments where we might perceive that we think we're going to lose our words. So rather than preempting that might happen, is come back to the breath and come back to the heart, and it is going to then settle it and then open out your brain to have more cognition, have better communication, and being able to open up your memory to something that you need to say next as well. So that is a really, really good technique. There's a lot more in that. That's just a super little short one that I wanted to share. But amongst what I do share with people, there's up to 6 techniques that go for a lot longer. But that's something to take with you after tonight and use. And some of my clients use it in everyday life, not just necessarily for speaking. They've used it in whole heaps of other things that have super helped them. So now what I want to talk about is that now that we've started to put together some things that you can start sharing with people and start sharing some of those messages and stories, is that what I want you to think about is that we want to put it to a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when we can structure something and put it into different sections of the beginning section, and that's where you could be talking about your experience, your skills, what you're passionate about. That could go in the first section that you're wanting to share with people, and then adding in more about who you are, what you do, and then you can add those things in there. And then when we get to the middle section, then that's that core piece of information that you want to be giving, that bit of value to people. And that's where you could start bringing in that bit of your story of where you used to be to where you're coming now, and talking about some of those needs, the wants and the desires. And then in that section, you could then talk about things that you do to be able to help people. And it could be things around who you help, what you do to help people, and how you help them, and addressing those needs, wants, and desires of the other people. So that's what I would say, is that you want to then be able to break that down in that middle section. And then when we get to the end section, so again, the beginning and the end, I often see the common mistakes that happen. So people know how to do the middle section of all the value, but the beginning is that they're not sure what to say. And then at the end is that's where a lot of people that I see forget about, oh, that's right, I need to do something about wrapping it up or next steps or what's going to happen. And in those two areas, they're so important, because it's how we grab the attention of the audience, but it's also how you leave the people as well. So I like to use an analogy of like a pilot on a plane. And not that for a lot of us, we have been able to go on planes for a little while, but it's about the fact that in takeoff and landing, they're the most important factors in flying. And then the in-between factors, I say that you can wing it to a certain point. So I want you to think about that it is so important, because it's going to help you with your confidence. If you know what you're saying straight away, it is then going to feed into the rest of what you're saying. And then in the middle, if you do get a little bit lost, it doesn't always matter, because your audience never knows what you're going to say next. So in the middle section, if you kind of got it back to front, it doesn't really matter. But then when you start to wrap it up and finish, you want to be able to instruct people that you're coming to the end and what's something that they should be doing next. And it doesn't have to be anything around sales. It's just around saying, maybe from your story, maybe for your value, maybe for your information, what's that next steps that they could potentially do for themselves. So those are the key structure that I want you to think about, is that having a beginning, a middle, and an end. Then for you as well, in your own mind, is that knowing what's coming next, if you can break it down into those sections, it becomes so much easier for you to remember them, but it also makes it really clear and digestible for the other person or the other people when we break it down into that. So that's what I want you to think about from these 4 days that we've had together, is how you can start to break that down into those sections from what we've covered over the last 3 nights, and how you can do that. So what I would say is that when it comes to the ending, is that having a think for you is what's maybe some of the things that you could ask them to do next. So like I got you all on Monday night, was to challenge you to find someone to ask them about where they grew up and what they were like as a kid. So it could be something really fun that you could ask people to do. And what you want to do is you're getting used to doing that call to connection. The people you speak to are starting to get used to, oh, I need to do something next. So when potentially for any of you who do have products and services and things like that to sell, then when you come to talking more about those things, it starts to become a habit for you, but it also for your audience, they start to be able to understand that you're asking them to do something next. So then it becomes easier to do that at the end of that. So those are some things to think about, and you could make them really super fun as well, but then thinking about what some things that align with you that you could get them to do next as well. So that's really the core bit that I want to share with you this evening. And then the final part of tonight that I want to ask, and you can pop it in the comments, is that I really suggest is that you follow people. And I'm sure you all listen to podcasts and audios and all of these things, but I want you to think about is that following speakers, so following people that you might admire, that's a role model, someone that you can learn from, that there's something about what they do that you love, but there's something that you could learn from them. So I always listen to and watch people who are really big speakers, but there's certain aspects of why I would watch them. and really developing from that and thinking about what is there something that I like about that I would like to achieve. But let me know in the comments just now if there's anybody that you listen to or watch that you do admire. There's something particular about them that you do admire, the way in which they maybe engage with the audience or things that they say. Let me know if there is anybody off the top of your head that you could share with us, because it's always good, because then other people can tune in and they would be able to go and follow them as well. Let me know in the comments. There's somebody new that I've started to watch. I can't massively pronounce her name, but I can share a link in the group and share with you one of her presentations that I was shared with actually this week, and I've been following her a lot because there's something that I just absolutely love about. She's so authentic. She is very direct. So I absolutely love watching what she does and watching all the things that she does on stage. Donna loves Bob Proctor. Yes, he is awesome. Definitely, he really is. So, you know, something to think about from tonight is that list some of the things that he does that you would love to maybe become, or there's certain aspects of what he does that you would like to be able to learn more of. Laura is Dr. Jordan Peterson. I love the way he explains things, draws people in so that I understand. Oh, Laura, I might get you to share. It'd be good to maybe share a link of his. I haven't heard of him before. Maybe at some point when you've got a few moments, it'd be awesome to share a link in here to him. That'd be amazing. And yes, and that's the thing you want to think about, is that what do they do about explaining, drawing in, but really, really studying that of certain aspects of what it is that they do to be able to draw you in. So that's our 3 things for tonight. Having the focus on the breath, really looking at that beginning, middle, and end of what it is that you're communicating with people. And then really honing in on some of those speakers that you admire, and really starting to think about what is it that you do admire about them. And then the final thing that I would like you to do is that I'm going to get you just to close your eyes again if you can. And I want you to imagine yourself in say 3 to 6 months time. And you know, putting together all of what we have been doing over the last 4 nights and thinking about those speakers that you admire. I want you just to visualize you in 3 to 6 months, really starting to put all of this work in place. And what would that, you know, what would that feel like, and what would you look like by being able to start putting all of those things in place? And what would you see as that vision for yourself? And I'll give you a few moments to have a think of that and imagine. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And if you feel like sharing that in the comments, feel free to do that. And if you're watching it on replay, feel free to share it in the comments as well. What's something that you would love to feel or to see about yourself by the end of the year into next year? And then, oh my goodness, it's already 5 to 7. It's already gone so quickly again. If you feel like sharing, feel free. No barriers for Donna. Yeah. And then one last thing that I would like to ask of you all is that maybe what's been one key learning or one key takeaway that you've had from the past 4 days of something that's really stood out for you that you think, yes, I'm definitely going to go away and use that and implement it. Laura would love to being able to engage and motivate others. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, let me know what's one key takeaway that you've had from these 4 days. I'd love to hear. And if you're joining in later or you're watching on replay, let me know as well. Do hashtag replay and let me know what's been some of the key takeaways that you've had. Donna, the process of getting your story out and making that connection. Excellent. Beautiful. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. And yeah, go really begin to put all of those things in place. And I believe in you all of coming in and committing to these 4 days and really taking on board to turn up, to show up, and really start to put those things in place. Then what you have imagined in the person that you want to become, then that can truly happen when we put the work in. Laura, getting my story together in the right way. Excellent, excellent. So go out there and really begin to share your story circle. Begin what you have already. And what I say is that wherever you go with your heart as well. So remember that technique and go out there and share that message, share your story from your heart. And remember to breathe in your heart, and that is going to be able to help you so much more when you're out there faced with sharing all of those things with everybody. So go out there and empower, inspire, change. Thank you so much, everybody who's joined these 4 days. It's been so amazing to be here with you all 4 nights in a row. It's been amazing. So thank you so much, everybody who's watched on live or on replay. If anybody has any questions on anything that we have covered, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that people might have as well. And just remember that it is only available until around Sunday. I'll take it down on Monday because then people in the UK will then have until the end of Sunday to watch it. So for anybody that has joined in live, and feel free to go back to it and watch anything that you want to go back and watch in case you feel you've missed anything. But thank you so much, and thank you, Laura and Donna, for being here this evening and commenting in there and showing up. I really, truly appreciate that, and it's been my pleasure. So go out there and share those stories, and I look forward to connecting with you all again. Have an amazing evening or amazing day wherever you are, and we will be live again very soon. Thanks, everyone. Bye. Mm-hmm.